Hi, I'm Rita and I'm from New Britain Roots and I'm here to cook with you today. We're gonna make guacamole. We're gonna make some tortilla chips that are baked. So first let's do the guacamole. You should have the recipe and all the ingredients. Let's go over the recipe, which is 2 avocados that are ripe, these are the Hass avocados that you usually see in the store. And they're ripe, they're just a little bit soft to the touch. So make sure, if you're planning on making guacamole, if you have a couple of days, get the avocados that are not ripe, and then they'll take a couple of days to ripen up. Otherwise you can choose, they can't always find ripe avocados in the store. The next thing that we're gonna put in is a lime. All right, and then we're also gonna use this cilantro, which is an herb, all right? And this herb we're gonna chop up. This is in a lot of tacos and a lot of rice dishes. You'll probably find it familiar, smell and taste. Okay. So let's start with the utensils that you're gonna need, all right? So you're gonna need some kind of a knife. I picked this knife. You could also use this smaller knife, which is called a paring knife. So whichever you have at home that you're comfortable with. And we're gonna need that. We're gonna need some kind of a masher. You can use a fork. I'm gonna use my potato masher. But a fork, even if you have a big fork like this one, is really good to mash it up. But we'll show you how to do that. You're gonna need teaspoons, a set of teaspoons, because we're gonna measure some salt. And I'm going for the lime, we're gonna juice it through a little strainer and put it right in a bowl, so a little bowl. And then I'm also gonna use this bigger bowl. Okay, and I also have a spoon. All right, and I forgot the salt. So this is the salt that we're going to be using. Okay, let's get down to making it. The first ingredient I'm going to cut up is going to be the avocado. These avocados are washed, dried, and then what I'm going to do is if you look, this is the part that came off the tree. I'm just going to cut it right down through the middle of that. Notice how my fingers, can you see it? Let me move it over a little bit, are kind of like a claw. That way I won't hurt my fingertips. It's really bad to cut through your fingertips. You don't want to do that. So just push down. And then we're cutting it all the way around till we get to the other end. And then I'm going to gently, kind of, see if you can see that. I'm gently twisting it apart. And it's ripe enough so it came right apart. And there's that seed in there. So once again, carefully, I'm going to cut through this to make it into a quarter. And then I'm going to get rid of this. So that's the giant seed that comes out in the middle. And then just take a look at this. I'm going to just peel it off. All right. That way I can put it right in here, in your bowl, ready to mash, okay? Once again, I'm peeling it off. And if it breaks like that, that's fine, just peel the rest off. Trying to get most of it in the bowl and not stuck on the peel. Once again, see how I'm just kind of peeling the whole thing down from the very top. Again, peeling it. Okay. There we go. I have one more to do, so I'm going to do the same thing. Cut right through the stem part, straight down. Careful, I'm holding on to the avocado and the knife very carefully, and just, once again, there we go. And I will cut it into quarters again, remove the peel, and place the avocado flesh into the bowl. Okay, so why are we making guacamole today? Well, because it's delicious, right? It's really good tasting, and it's very healthy. It has vitamin A, vitamin E, vitamin K, a bunch of different vitamin Bs. It's got really good, very good healthy fats to protect you from diseases. But the best thing about this is that they're delicious. They're not too expensive. These are probably, you can probably get them for $1.50. Just a plain avocado makes an excellent snack. So I highly recommend enjoying an avocado. And I'm just peeling the last one. So that's 2 avocados that are in the bowl. All right, they look just like that. So what I'm gonna do now is wash my hands. Okay, I'm coming back. I washed my hands. I am going to now get rid of this, which are all the scraps. That can go in compost. I'm going to cut this lime right in half. And once again, notice how I have the claw, and I'm really holding this lime down so it won't move, because it's round and it wants to move. And then I am cutting it with this knife. Okay. Now the cool thing about limes is that they don't have as many seeds as lemons. So I don't really think we're going to need this, which is kind of cool. I'm going to show you a tool that I use. You can just squeeze this at home if you don't have this tool. You can just squeeze it just like that into a bowl. Okay, and then you can put it right in there. Okay, so I'm going to use this. I'm going to try to make sure that you can see it. I'll do it with this hand. Okay, so you put this right in here in the middle, and then you just twist and push. So can you see all that juice coming out of there? This is called a reamer, a citrus reamer. But what you can do, now I'm getting a lot of juice out of this half of lime. I think I'm gonna just stop at that. That's probably a couple tablespoons. I don't know if you can see it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start with that. If we need more lime juice, we'll put it in. Another ingredient we're gonna need is salt. So we're going to take a half teaspoon measure. Okay, we want to do not a heaping salt, we want to do a level salt. All right, put that in there. Now, the last ingredient is going to be our cilantro, which is an herb. And what we're going to do is that I'm going to show you how I cut it up using a very safe technique. So let me move this out of the way so you can see. Let's see, can you see that? Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop this up. And how I'm gonna do it is that you all have a bunch of this in a baggie. So I'm gonna take it real tight. I'm just gonna kind of bunch it up like that, okay? See? And then I'm gonna really carefully, once again, use my claw, and I'm gonna just kind of chop it using from the back of the knife to the top. Just kind of chop it up, all right? Now what I'm gonna do is another way is putting my hand right on top, okay? And then just kind of going back and forth with the heel of the knife. And you're just going up and down and up and down, back and forth and back and forth. You don't want huge pieces of the herb in your guacamole. So this is a really good time. You can see how it's getting chopped up, okay? A really good time to carefully, slowly use your knife. I'm doing this fast, but I've been doing it for a long time, so you take your time. Give yourself some time to do it. All right, and chop it up. We don't want this. We want it just to be little flakes in there. We don't want it to be big pieces of herb. Okay, so I think that looks good to me. Take a look. All right, I'm going to place that in there. Okay, so we have our avocados. we have our cilantro, we have our salt, and we have our lime. Is there anything else we'd want to put in there? What else could you put in there? I'm thinking scallions. We're not going to, but you could. Tomatoes. There are endless things you could do with it, but this is very basic for you to, a canvas for you to add more things to than what you and your family enjoy. I'm gonna take the masher and I'm gonna mash it up, okay? Now, if your avocados aren't quite ripe, it's gonna be very hard to mash them. So make sure that's the whole thing of the dish, is making sure that you have really nice, ripe avocados. So this will work pretty well. Okay, now I showed you how that works. You see, that worked really well. It's getting very nice. Now I'm gonna try a big fork. For those of you that don't have a masher at home, we're gonna do this. So you're just gonna kind of smush it down. And if you don't have a big fork, use a little fork. It's just gonna take you a little more time, but it'll still do it. I'm smashing it right on the side of the bowl. Now you could have your guacamole be really creamy. You could do this for a really long time and have it be nice and creamy, like as creamy as mayonnaise or yogurt or something. Or you could have little chunks in it. Leave some of the avocado a little chunky. It's really up to your taste, whatever you prefer, whatever your family prefers. Remember, you're going to be taking a chip and dipping it in there. So it might be, so, you know, however you think it's best. Okay, I like it to be a little bit chunky, just like that. All right. So that looks pretty good to me. All right, the next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna taste it. You're gonna do that too when you make it. You can taste it and you can see what it is like. If you want more, we're not putting sugar in it, more salt, more lime juice. I think it's perfect. Okay, so now we're going to make the tortillas. So I'll see you in a minute.